a rundown of what's happened over the last few days. So I'm recording this today, I think it's the 18th of April today, so it's Tuesday, and I've just had a bit of a shit week, if I'm honest. Yeah, so on Thursday I had a twitchy eye, and it just was a little twitch, you know, when you get tired. It was that kind of twitch, and then it moved to my lip, and it was just getting really irritating. Anyway, over the weekend it sort of died down, but it was every now and again I'd have a little twitch. And then on Sunday my lips started to go a little bit numb. I was a little confused about it, but I just sort of carried on like normal. Just thought, oh, it's, you know, it's just one of those things. And on, sorry, I'm having to think about it because it's just been horrible. So yesterday, Monday, I woke up in the morning, and when I was brushing my teeth, I was trying to spit, you know how you spit with your toothpaste. I was spitting it into the sink, and it just felt really weird, like my lip, I couldn't feel my lip properly, and it was just a real horrible, strange feeling. Anyway, throughout the day, I started to feel my cheek go numb, and I've had this before. So I wasn't particularly concerned about it because I've had it when I've had a migraine. So when I was younger, I had started a job, and it was quite an intense job, and I had to learn sort of really quickly. And I was working for the council, so I was taking calls for the council, and my first service that I'd been put on was highways. Now, there was a running joke around the office that highways was basically the worst service that you could be put on because of the callers and the aggression that you can get from those calls. Anyway, by the by, I believe I was on a highways call when this happened. It wasn't any like stressful call or anything, but the whole process of learning the service and learning the types of people that you're going to get on the phones, it was really quite scary for me. And it was kind of like my first real job, like my first proper job that was in an office where I could wear office clothes, and I was taken seriously as an adult, and it was, you know, it was a huge step for me. So I'd taken on a lot on my shoulders when I started that job, and it basically led me into a lot of anxiety attacks, a lot of panic attacks, and sort of stepping out of my comfort zone. So I ended up having this humongous migraine. Now, when I had this, I was basically sitting at the computer and I was typing up the notes from the call. So I was talking to the customer on the phone, or the customer on the phone, and I was taking down the details on the computer. And when I was reading it back to them to make sure that I had all of the details, basically all of the words that were on the screen, I kid you not, it was like so surreal, but all of the words, all the single letters were like falling off the page. And I sort of thought, am I tripping? Have I taken something and I don't know that I've taken it? Like, what's going on? And I really seriously started to panic because I didn't know what was happening. And within a few seconds, I started to feel like tingling, like pins and needles up my fingers, and it started moving up my arm, and it started moving to my face, and then all of a sudden it felt like it was really numb. Now, I believe this was all on my left side, and when it happened, I was absolutely, oh my God, I was just beside myself. I had no idea what was happening. The instant thing that came to mind, as it naturally would, is that I'm having a stroke. So I went to my manager and I spoke to her, and she said, okay, well, if it is what we think it is, then you need to take an aspirin. So I had an aspirin. She called 111, and they basically confirmed that it was the start of a migraine. It was probably induced by the panic attack, and that I basically just needed to rest up and I'd be okay. So that basically, I believe that passed within a couple of days, and I was absolutely fine after that. Luckily, I didn't have to go through that again until I believe it was just after lockdown, and I had another one of these migraines. This time it cropped its head when I went to a pub that I'd never been to before. Now, you guys should know me by now, and you should understand that I've had anorexia my entire life, and well, I say my entire life, since my sort of early teen years. And so I struggle to eat out. I struggle when it's a new environment, and if it's something that's out of the ordinary, or something that's not the same as what, you know, if it's just me and my other half going out for dinner somewhere, I can cope with someone new if I'm with him, because I know that I'm in safe hands. But on this situation, it was literally, we were fresh out of lockdown. It was the first family meal that we'd had in probably the best part of a year. So it was the first time that we'd all got together, and it was an anxious time. I think it was the first time I met my baby brother's girlfriend as well, Becca. I love you. So I was nervous. I didn't want to, you know, make a bad impression, and obviously I wanted to get to know her. So it was a whole thing, and you know, it was like, you know, it was just so anxiety ridden, and getting there on time as well. I believe there was a bit of a mismatch on timings and things like that, and there was, you know, potential that we were going to be late, and I was stressing like mad. So by the time I'd got there, I was flapping so much that I was just like, didn't know what to do with myself. Anyway, we got in, we got sat down. I think there was a little bit of a mess up with the booking as well, but you know, it was just one of those things again. Anyway, we sat down, and literally, guys, I ordered the food. We're having a laugh, we're having a joke, family's back together again. It was lovely. It was really, really nice. But as soon as they put that plate in front of me, I went, and I started to freak, and I started to have panic attacks, and I gave my mum the eyes. Yeah, and she knew exactly what was happening. So she said, "Are you all right?" And I said, "Yeah, I'll be all right. I'll be all right." And then she left it a couple of minutes, and then she asked me again, "Are you okay?" I was like, "No, I think I need to go outside." She goes, "Right, come on then." So she took me outside. We went and sat outside. She gave me a hug. We had a few deep breaths together, and everything was fine from there. But I did start getting the tingling feeling, and I started to get the numbness, and I knew what was happening this time round. So I wasn't alarmed. I wasn't stressing at this point. I just knew that I needed to get my heart rate under control, and I needed to get that anxiety down. So that's what I did, with the help of my mummy. So that was that time. Now, this time round, it's on my right side of my face. And it hasn't gone, and I didn't get the tingly feeling up my arm. It didn't, you know, it wasn't like that. It was like a gradual thing. So I woke up yesterday morning, and you know, I couldn't spit properly when I was brushing my teeth, so I you know, a little bit confused why that was. And then, like I say, gradually throughout the day, it started to move up to my cheek, and then it started to move to my eye. So my eye then started to have these, like, I don't know, these manic moments where it couldn't focus, and so my eyes would then just be like, oh God, and it started to do it now. Where I can't focus properly, so I'm like trying to focus, and I've been wearing my glasses as well, and they're just not making anything better. Like, it's like I haven't got my glasses on when it has this focus moment. So the focus is in and out, it's in and out, and I can't look at anything, I can't see anything properly, so I have to like blink a few times, maybe rub my eye, and eventually it will sort itself out, and I'll be able to see properly again. So I'm like, what's going on? I'm like really confused by this, but at the same time I'm like, oh yeah, it's probably just this migraine. It's probably, you know, it's just that I've just got to rest and see what happens. Anyway, I finished work yesterday. I had a bit of a flapping moment at work yesterday. You couldn't get onto the network, and it was a bit of an issue, and that was kind of sending my anxiety a little bit over the top, because I knew that I needed to get my reports done, and it needed to be sent off. So I knew that needed to be done, and I was like slightly concerned that I wasn't, you know, being able to do that. So it did send my anxiety a little bit. I wouldn't say it was anything out of the ordinary. It was just, you know, a normal thing for me. I have to deal with this on a daily basis, this level of anxiety. So I didn't expect that to sort of tip me over the edge or anything. So I was like, okay, you know, it's just another day as such. So because of that, I didn't really think that, you know, it was anything to do with my anxiety. So I started to think, what else could it be? If it's not my anxiety attack, if it's not my panic attack, then what is it? So anyway, I've known someone in my past who actually worked at this other job that I was telling you about, and he had Bells Palsy. So he said to me that it was a hereditary thing and it was running in his family, and it was just unfortunate that he was the one out of his brothers and sisters that had got the gene. So he was, you know, sometimes having to stay at home because the right side of his face, or left side, I don't know, but one side of his face would be paralysed, and he wouldn't be able to blink or anything. And so I thought, oh, maybe, but I thought, no, like, Luna, can you stop? Can you stop? Because thank you. Sorry, the dog was licking her foot. Good girl. Good girl. And you're so good. I love you. So anyway, that basically made me think, oh, maybe that could be something. But, you know, it's another thing that's just in your mind, and you don't really know, like, what it is because you're not a doctor, right? So anyway, my other half got home from work, and he said to me, should you call 111? And I thought, oh, yeah, probably. I mean, it's not a good thing. I mean, so we have strokes that run in my family. My granddad, bless his heart, he has had a right ordeal with strokes and mini strokes. So it is something that runs in the family. And obviously, me being me, I usually think to the worst thing possible. But because of the fact that I had these anxiety attacks and these migraines that have gone the same way, I wasn't too concerned that it was that, because I can still talk properly. I wasn't slurring my words. There was no real issues in that area. I can raise my hands up and I can keep them there. There's no issues there. And I can still smile, sort of. I can still use my face. It's not completely paralysed. So there was good signs there, so I wasn't too concerned. But anyway, I called 111 because the other half told me to. And they went through all of the questions and, you know, got to the end of the questions, and she said, yeah, it's probably a good idea that you make your way to A&E. She asked me if I could get there and all of that, you know. And my other half, bless his heart, took me to A&E last night, and I went to see the urgent care unit, I think it's called. And I spoke to the doctor there, and again, he wasn't concerned, so I was like so relieved that somebody was like, it's clarity, isn't it? It's just, it makes you feel a little bit more confident that it's not what you think it is. So anyway, the doctor done the usual test, you know, the raising of your arms. He made me smile, he made me frown as well, and I had to blink as well. And he took my heart rate, took my heart rate, he took my blood pressure to make sure that everything was okay. And yeah, it was, you know, the usual stroke tests to make sure that everything's okay. And he basically said to me that it shouldn't be anything to worry about. Sometimes it can be down to nerve damage. Sometimes it can be, a panic attack or a migraine. And also, you know, from what I've demonstrated that I can still do and that I'm coherent, I'm able to discuss the issues and able to tell him what's wrong. He was quite happy to say that it wasn't a stroke, and that it's just a case of wait and see what happens. So it's now almost probably about 20 hours since I went to A&E yesterday, and I'm still experiencing the same feelings. So it's still numb around my lips, my tongue is numb, It feels like the inside of my mouth is numb, also around my cheek here, and my eye as well is a little bit numb, and it does feel like it's not as responsive as what this side of it is. So yeah, so I'm kind of just waiting it out now just to see what happens. My eye is still doing the focus thing, and yeah, I don't know what's happening to me, to be honest. I mean, last night I got in and I went and had a smoke outside. And we had a trellis out that we basically used as a fence so that the dog can't get out of the garden, because we don't really have much of a garden out the front, so we have to like cordon it off so that the dog can play outside. And we put this trellis up, and I just basically left it there, and I'd pushed past it to go and sit where I have a smoke. And as I was stubbing it out, because it was dark outside, I didn't see that the trellis had moved and it was dead straight in front of me. I've gone to stub out my cigarette and I've literally face planted the corner of one of these trellises, and I kid you not, it really hurt. It really hurt. And now I have like a dent in my nose around here somewhere. Where is it? There it is. Yeah, just there. And it's really tender. So not only have I got a numb face this side, but I also get injured on the side of the face that I actually can feel what's going on. If it was that side, it would have been a problem because I can't fucking feel it. But this side, it fucking hurts. So I had a mini breakdown last night when I was getting into bed, and I was just like, I've just had enough. I've got surprises on my knee. I'm like, oh, I have a numb face. I now have a hurt face. I've also, oh guys, also I didn't tell you my ear as well. It keeps sort of like, it's like I'm in a tunnel. It's like when your ears pop. It's literally only this ear though. And it's just, yeah, it's really weird. Anyway, but I feel like crap. I'm like, seriously, can I not catch a break? Like, just one day where I don't have to deal with any of this. It would just be really nice. Like, I don't know. I'm fed up. I'm so fed up. I just want this to end. But, you know, it's just one of those things that you have to persevere. And, well, that's why I'm still sitting in front of this camera talking to you guys without any makeup on. I haven't done my hair. It's probably really windswept as well because I've just taken the dog out for a walk. And I'm in my slobs. And my face ain't moving, or at least this side doesn't feel like it is. And yeah, one day at a time, guys. Or at the minute, for me, one step at a time. But anyway, I hope you guys like that video. I hope it helps you in any way. I don't know if it will, because I don't know. I think it's probably more helping me than anything. But yeah, if there's anything there that helps you, I hope it does. I mean, look guys, I can't even be bothered to set up my actual studio. I'm sitting on my bed with my dog, and that's it. You've just got me and my like crappy little bedroom, and that's what you're gonna get today. I'm sorry, it's a little bit more real for you, I guess. But guys, if you enjoyed that, please make sure that you subscribe to my channel, give it a thumbs up on your way out, and yeah, I will see you very, very soon, I hope, with maybe an update on what the hell's going on with my face.